Hi guys, welcome to day 3 of Get Grounded. I'm Carrie Foreman. I'm going to take my glasses off because it looks like it's glaring. I want to talk to you today about something called observing ego. Observing ego, if you've never heard of it, is a new tool for your toolbox, really. Without observing ego, we can't create change, period. No change occurs without observing ego. So, here's what observing ego is. It is a window in which you're able to stand outside of yourself and view your own behavior. Super valuable. If you don't have that ability, you need to be cultivating it. If you want some things to change in your life, no matter what it is, without observing ego, we're not going to get there. So, together, we will cultivate observing ego while setting intentions. So it's something that I'm going to be talking about throughout. The ability to be able to stand outside of yourself and view your own behavior, see yourself how others see you. And if you've never spent some time on that, it's pretty eye-opening, scary, sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. But it's never a bad thing to raise your self-awareness when you're trying to create change. So let's talk about where observing ego comes into play. Do you know what your triggers are, first of all? Triggers are something that really pisses you off. The minute you hear it, it might be the tone of somebody's voice. It might be somebody at work. The minute they say something, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Your heart starts beating fast. Your throat may get tight and the wheels start turning in your head. If you don't know what your triggers are, how do you expect to be able to respond instead of react when triggered? When I was younger, I was a reactor. If I was triggered, I didn't have a horrible temper, although I've been known to yell in my younger days a lot. When I was triggered, I felt like I had a right to react, right? Nobody's going to tell me I can't react. I'm going to react to you because you've got to be responsible for your words, right? So I'm going to show you that you have to be responsible for your words. And the way that I did that was, I used to joke that I was a verbal badass, because the way that I did that was by being a smartass. And we'll talk about smartassery maybe at a different time. But being a smartass, although it is a fine art, it also has this really sharp edge to it, and it hurts people. It can leave them walking away from you not feeling good about themselves. And as I got older, I realized that's not who I want to be. I want to leave people feeling better about themselves. I want to be a light that fills the room, that when you walk up to me and have a conversation with me, you walk away feeling a little more puffed up, a little better about yourself. Why wouldn't I want to make you feel that way? So in that, it's important for me to know my triggers. Because if I don't know my triggers and you trigger me, then you've got all the power. I've put all the power outside of myself. I've been triggered, and now I'm going to react. Now I'm going to say something to you. And then here's what happens. I say something to you and you feel bad. And then I walk away and I feel bad. There's nothing good about me reacting to a trigger. What I want to do is, when I'm triggered, I want to feel it in my body. I want to be self-aware enough and have enough of an observing ego to be able to stop and think, where do I feel this in my body? I know I had a physical reaction here, so I must have been triggered. Boom, I start thinking, how was I triggered? Where do I feel it in my body? And once I figured out where I feel it in my body, what is my thought? Because remember the mind-body connection. So if I'm feeling something in my body, that informs me I'm having a thought. So I immediately go to my thought. My next step is I bring some self-awareness to my thought. Why am I having that thought? What's the root of that thought? What's the root of my feeling triggered? Is it something in my past? Is it something with that person specifically? My goal is not to take the power away from them. That sounds bad, but it's to not place the power outside of myself. The main issue that I'm hearing about right now in my inbox is Somebody at work is driving me nuts. I don't know how to handle them. My daughter is behaving in a way that I'm reacting to, and I don't like how I'm reacting. We place our power outside of ourselves so often. If they would just change, I wouldn't react this way. Guess what? That's not true. Because there's always going to be a trigger. Always. So are you going to walk around as a raw nerve, being triggered, being offended at all times, and reacting, and walking away with a fast heart and feeling anxious? That's not the life I want for myself. Do you? So here are my intentions today. I will use my observing ego that I have cultivated to view myself when I'm triggered. I will stand outside of myself and I will watch my behavior before the trigger, my behavior during the trigger, and my behavior after the trigger. Or else I'm placing the power outside of myself. After I respond, I will then, if it is a person that triggered me, I will then give them a compliment of some sort. I will leave them feeling better than when they walked in the room with me. Regardless of how I feel about them, I will be a light for people who don't have a cup that's as full as my cup. For my last intention today, I am powerful, which means I control my reactions and my responses and the difference between them. Now it's time for you to set your intentions. Please don't forget, when you're done setting your intentions, make sure that you take a deep breath in to the count of 4 through your nose and out to the count of 8 through your mouth. You feel it with your body. You feel every cell in your body imagining this to be true, visualizing you as powerful. Thanks for being here with me today, you guys. I hope that you feel really good about our intention setting process so far. I know I love this community. I love the response I'm getting, and the support feels amazing. I'll see you tomorrow on Get Grounded.